Hey, welcome to the latest Democracy for Developer blog. I'm Clef, I'm the coder and designer, and I'm going to talk about the stuff that has changed in the game in the last 3 weeks, which is when we did the last video. So there's quite a lot of stuff that's changed. I'm going to try and sort of demonstrate stuff to you rather than just talk about it, because that's always better. And we've added some stuff that only shows up for the UK, so I'm going to start a new game as the UK and talk about a few different things. So something that is new is we've got some new policies which are kind of partially already implemented actually in some countries. So I'm just looking for one there. Oh, that's a bug if you've been up there and you go next turn. Anyway, there is one down here somewhere. Where was it? Oh, there we go. Ban tobacco. Now obviously tobacco smoking is not banned in the UK, but it is partially banned because we have a ban on smoking in public. So we have this new policy that allows you to kind of adjust this. Now you could outright ban it, make it illegal, which is basically just handing a huge business opportunity to organised crime there, who will then, make a lot of money smuggling it in. And that's not a very liberal thing to do. Or you can have it like a slightly progressive kind of, it's not banned but we discourage it, sort of make it really awkward, which is what we have in the UK, which will reduce tobacco usage. And if you kind of like click through that, eventually you'll see there'll be an impact on health and healthcare demand and all the rest of it. And obviously if we've got that, we also have somewhere, where would it be? Ban alcohol. Obviously it's neither of them. Alcohol, where? Yeah. Oh no. Would it be public services? Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like, where should it be? I mean, law and order, but like, I don't know. I don't know actually. Anyway, let me know if you think it's crazy. So, yeah, you can ban alcohol. And of course some countries do ban alcohol in the Middle East. Flat out ban. And the United States used to ban alcohol a long time ago. It might seem crazy to mention that because it's so long ago, but then gambling is sort of banned to an extent. Online gambling is banned, as far as I know, still in the US, which seems crazy because it's not vaguely banned where I live. Anyway, these are two new policies that are in there. Something else that we've done is revamp a certain part of the game, which is to do with rare earth metals, minerals, whatever. Now there's a little icon somewhere for them. Where? There's a little tip. If you can't find something, if you just go here and start typing, there we go, it's there. Right. So we used to have this situation that would pop up, which was rare earth metals crisis. In other words, we need loads of them and they've run out, and it would kind of sneak up on you, and we had a few policies that would affect it, but bizarrely they kind of had icons that had nothing to do with it. So now we actually have a consistent icon, which is this like ingot of some metal, which represents rare earth. And this is the prices of it. Now we have some policies that would increase the supply and therefore reduce those prices somewhere. So we have the Green Electronics Initiative would do that. It would reduce our demand. And then it's probably really unpopular, rare earth metal. So it's got that icon in there. I can't actually implement that, but hopefully if I implement the other one it will affect it. Anyway, so you can now see the crisis coming. The crisis still happens, the rare earth metals crisis still happens, but you can see it coming because this basically feeds into it. As technology goes up, that will scoop up really quickly. And if foreign relations go down, it will go up because it's implied that you import most of these things, unless you're China, and China isn't currently in the game. And we could hack in a thing if we ever did it. So anyway, that's been revamped and I think looks a lot better. A little tiny thing is this, okay? The effectiveness of your minister. If it's low, this will be highlighted in red. And this is kind of important. The effectiveness of your minister is a combination of how suited they are to this job and how much experience they have. So you can see the experience of our ministers here. See, that's really low. Who's that? Law and Order. So if we go to the Law and Order Minister, oh my God, really bad. Whereas some of them aren't quite so bad. Who's that? Public Services. So yeah, 50%, not even a warning. People weren't noticing this number enough. So what people tend to do is the minute a minister is unhappy, they will fire them. And this part of the game, or this tactical decision in the game, is what I call the Gordon Brown dilemma. Gordon Brown was a very long-running chancellor, tax minister, if you like, economy minister, in the UK, and famously did not get on at all with the Prime Minister for a very long time, for like a decade in power or whatever. But he was not fired. He was never fired. And the thing is, as time went on, it became harder and harder to fire him because he had been in the job so long, so he was the most effective in that job. Who would you replace him with? It got difficult. And I want to represent that dilemma, that strategic choice in the game more. So the effectiveness is there so that when you'll see it's low at the start of the game, you've got like an inexperienced team, you've just taken power, and you can see that they're all a bit kind of rubbish except Ida Washington there. That's a cool name. A little bit rubbish. Paul Brown and Ida Washington know what they're doing, others don't. So if these people get unhappy, I want you to know that when you fire them, you are prioritizing their happiness and their loyalty over their experience. And it really matters. So if we get a tax, right, 3% less income and 8% longer to do stuff. So like the tobacco tax would have been implemented better by someone else, and we would have earned 3% more tax. In other words, you might think that doesn't make any sense. Yes, it does, because what we're saying is our tax minister is not experienced enough to realise that the legislation is full of loopholes. So we're losing potential income. And of course the economy minister, they'll just make bad strategic decisions, and so on and so on and so on. I think there was a summary here, efficiency with which taxes are raised here. So you can see that here as well, and you can see the average minister effectiveness here. Just that, affects some of this stuff. Corruption will also affect stuff as well. Anyway, so that's new. I'm going to show you some events that will hopefully pop up. Do I extradite a terror suspect? I think I should keep them here. Not popular with the Patriots. Okay, so I'm just going to... I've hacked in some of the new events, so they do trigger. I'm going to support gay adoption. So hopefully they will, and I can talk about them. Okay, well, this is the most clearly new one, I guess, is Black Lives Matter. So basically you have a load of protests, right? And it's interesting thinking about the causes of this and the effects. It's one of these things that I've put in that racial tension will kind of cause it. And a lot of liberalism will cause it, because we had a wave of Black Lives Matter stuff in the UK when obviously it was triggered by what happened in the US. So it's because we're a very liberal country that loads of people who read US news and everything, they pick up on it and it becomes a big thing. So liberalism feeds into this and is created by it. And I think that is true, because this aspect of liberalism here is basically wokeness. Is kind of awareness of microaggressions towards race and stuff like that. It's so difficult to put this in a game and have to talk about it, and when you try and be completely neutral about everything. So various stuff feeds into this. If you have a really conservative country, basically this will not trigger, because not enough people in your country care. So it's something that is both caused by and causes liberalism, which I think is interesting. And we have to have it in the game because it's such a big deal. Actually, we had bad news there, didn't we? The credit rating going down. Should probably do something about that at some point. So says pretty much every politician ever. Religious symbols in schools. No. No place for religion. Hopefully other stuff will trigger. The economy is in such free fall. I should do something. I'm going to scrap state housing. And what else shall I scrap? Agriculture subsidies, just making food cheap, and that has issues. He says blindly, you know, who cares? Right, this is a thing. This is a thing from when I was a child. Early teens, maybe. I can't remember. Anyway, so the Falkland Islands, if you're not from the UK, this needs explaining. So the Falkland Islands are this tiny little island at the bottom of South America, off towards the South Pole, that inexplicably Britain owns. And of course we wouldn't care, but there used to be a chance there would be oil around there, which we shouldn't be drilling anyway. But anyway, so the people who live there are British, and they're very British. In fact, one of my neighbours used to live there. Anyway, whatever. We fought a war over this, right? So Argentina, who calls it the Malvinas, thinks this island that is right next to us and thousands of miles from the UK is obviously ours. And they basically tried to take it back. We call it the Falklands conflict, which is ridiculous because, like, some people now call it the Falklands War. It was obviously a war. Anyway, it was a war that Britain won. Argentinians were sent back, but they've never given up their claim to it. So what this is the equivalent, if you play the game a lot and you gut the military, that has negative effects, but one of the effects is a foreign neighbour missile test. Now, the UK is unlikely to suffer from that because our nearest neighbours are Ireland and France, and much though we joke about hating the French, they're not going to actually threaten us with nukes. Okay, and neither are the Irish. So it doesn't make any sense. So this is kind of like one of two new events that is an equivalent. So we've cut our military, and Argentina knows that, and they thought we could go there with some troops. We should plant a flag, go, we're going to take these islands back one day, and then run away. And so no harm done to some extent, but the implication is this is a sign, and patriots will recognise this, that even foreign countries have realised that our military is not strong enough, and that is cause for concern. The budget deficit is cause for my concern here. Oh my god, what can I do? I am going to tax the dead and people who fly a lot. Carbon emissions. Can't do a lot else. It'll be fine. Okay, I just want to trigger these other things. Cluster bomb ban. Yeah, cluster bombs are evil. Like, we supposedly banned them a long time ago, but did we? Huh. Yeah, definitely a plastics tax, methinks. And I'm going to slightly cut unemployment benefit. Ooh, controversial. Anyway, just trying to get through these events. Yes, yes, of course we must entertain foreign people. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, heatwave, right. So, this is a new one, very topical, well, depending when you're watching this. This is now happening all over the world. It was a big deal like last year in California. California's always had wildfires and stuff like that. Now it's happening really badly in Greece. I think also Turkey might be flooding. It's hard to remember who's getting the floods and who's getting the heat waves. Anyway, it's a climate change thing, right? If average temperature goes up, you get, to a certain extent, you will get this. And it is just another one of those events that is in the game that represents that you haven't done enough to lower your carbon emissions, basically. I mean, it's you know, I think we can't not represent that because it's in the news so much. Yes, I love trade agreements. Give me, oh, the deficits come down. See, even just phoning it in, I have prudent fiscal management, child labour. Like, who doesn't click criminalise? Seriously, of course. Of course. You know. Right, okay, here's the other one. Okay, so this is, again, if you're not in the UK, you're thinking, what? This is kind of like the Falklands one, but just a different country. So, this has happened quite a lot in the last 3 or 4 years, maybe, that basically Russia sends ships or planes very close to British waters. So we scramble jets or ships to go right up to them and go, "Oi, what do you think you're doing? This is the English Channel or whatever." And they basically do it to see how quickly we can launch planes and intercept, which is ridiculous. I mean, is Russia really thinking of invading? I mean, come on, it's stupid saber rattling. But anyway, the point is, it's not a geopolitical point. And you could make the same argument to us, like we just sent a carrier fleet to the South China Sea. We're not going to start a war with China. Like, why? Anyway, whatever. Anyway, the point is, it is implied, kind of like that British people who are patriotic and pro our military and concerned about foreign threats don't like this. In that it's like they're only doing this because we have a weak military. They wouldn't dare do this if we had the Navy we used to have and the Air Force we used to have. So it's another one of those events. Anyway, I don't want to go on and on and on about it. So those are some new events. Something else I'm going to show you, and yeah, okay, I'm going to have to load some games. Let's just do it live. So if I load, in fact, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. No, I can't. Actually, I'm going to have to start a new game to do this. No, I'm not. No, I've just realised. I think it should be fine. It's so polished. What I want, Korean pre-election. Here we go. Korean. So into my K-dramas. Oh no, this is an old event. Oh, how annoying. Right, let me just show you in it. Right, this is wrong because all the names are wrong. Like Melanie, the Korean minister. This is really old game before anyway, let me just show you an election, right? That's all I need to do. And I can't remember, but I think it was an overwhelming victory. It was, yeah. This is an old like test game from a long time ago. So ignore this. Ignore the actual result. This is new. Up here. Save screenshot. And if you save screenshot, it will obviously save a screenshot to your hard drive. You can do that at any point just by hitting the print screen button on your keyboard, but like it's not obvious to everyone. And the one bit that people most want a screenshot of to tweet is this. And if you're thinking, well, don't I get that tooltip and that button on my screenshot? No, I thought of that. So basically it hides that button the minute you clicked it, makes a note the next frame to take a screenshot, so it takes it 1/60th of a second later. So you don't. Excellent. Anyway, excellent victory. It turns out there is some going back. Haha. Anyway, so I think the last thing, is it the last thing I'm going to mention? We have done a lot of stuff. If I go to a new game, if I go to a new South Korea, Nakamida, I watch a lot of K-dramas at the moment. Totally addicted. So something that we do is, so I'm going to butcher these names badly. So let me get one that I know is definitely the right way round. There's normally someone called Park. So okay, I'm going to say Sun Chai-won. Okay, I can't do it. Anyway, Korean names are reversed. A little bit like the Bajorans from Deep Space Nine. Okay, so you know, we go forename surname, they go surname forename, and that's in the game. Okay, so for everyone, and of course we've got millions of people in the game. Park is such a common last name. How come I don't have any Parks? There's a Zhang. That's funny. I'm going to look into that. Kang. Oh, Mr. O. Yeah, anyway, so the names are properly reversed, so that kind of like Dong Hyun Moon. Okay, I can't, obviously I do not, Kim is a last name, right? Anyway, no one would have noticed unless you're Korean or you watch a lot of K-dramas. Anyway, that's in. So that's what's in the last 3 weeks. There's loads of cool stuff coming. We are getting 2 new translations. I want to say Chinese and something else. God, that's awful, isn't it? I can't even remember. We're getting new translations and they're cool. And a lot of balanced stuff that I'll be working on as well. But anyway, that's been the last 3 weeks. We're coming up to a year in early access, which is a thing that maybe I should. I don't know whether to say keep it in early access. I don't know. Anyway, that's what's new in Democracy 4. Hope you're enjoying the game. I always read the comments on these videos. So if you've got any thoughts on any of this stuff, if you say you've completely butchered that name in Korean, or your geopolitical analysis is wrong, or the effects of Black Lives Matter are wrong, which everyone's going to say no matter what I pick. So, you know, okay. Let me know. Anyway, thank you for watching these videos. Please like and subscribe, etc. And I'll see you in hopefully 3 weeks. I might actually be... Am I going to be away? That can't be right. I am. It'll be 4 weeks. Okay, I'll see you then. Thanks.